Greetings and salutations, this is Imperator Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
And here we have our wonderful Skitarii Vanguard with their awesome little backpacks on the back. These guys I have painted them up in white, partly camouflage, partly to represent radiation clothing, like rad suits. The power packs or the backpacks, because they're highly radioactive, have red sort of light coming for them. I know a lot of people do blue. I decided to do red because it's radiation and I thought it just looked cooler. And that way the white colour scheme matches quite well with the backpacks. Also, the Vanguard are the troops that you send in first usually. You can use them as scouts and you can send them in first. Because the rest of the army doesn't want to really stand next to them because they're radioactive and it's bad for your health.
So they go first, just you might die,
Yeah. The basic plot is that they're completely contained inside their suits, but they have all these radiation things, radiation weapons, but they're safe inside their combat gear. However, if they ever take off their helmet, they are missing a lot of teeth and have no hair.
Oh.
So It's not good for your health, this radiation stuff.
Let's change it up and do backstory first.
You know backstory first?
Yeah.
Okay, right. These chaps are Skitarii Vanguard. They're like normal Skitarii, as in they are machines. Pardon me.
Different class though.
Yes, these usually have a little bit more experience. Most armies, their scouts have least experience, which is why you send them out first. These have a bit more experience. And they also decided to go with the whole radiation weapon stuff, and they specialised in that sort of stuff. So their life expectancy is relatively limited.
Yeah.
Generally. So you should really classify them as scouts more than anything else. They tend to drive in their own transport. They tend to be transported completely separately to the rest of the mechanicus army due to the high levels of radiation. And theoretically, people close to them, including the enemy, will be irradiated. Doesn't really come across in the rules, unfortunately. It would be cool if you while you're in combat, you rolled a 6 and bad things happened or something. You take a wound, but now it doesn't have that. So what do you want to know about them?
Well, how do they come from being Skitarii Rangers to Skitarii Vanguard?
Typically it's first of all, a lot of them are kind of veteran soldiers. They've got a lot of combat experience.
So rusty.
Yeah, they're going on a bit. Yeah, they're beginning to outlive their usefulness, but they're still useful. But they are to the point where you can't really amalgamate them into too many units. One thing that armies do is they get a couple of veterans from an existing platoon which has been heavily battle damaged, and they will intersperse them with the new platoons to give the new platoons combat experience. So these couple of veterans, maybe a corporal and a sergeant or just whatever, might actually be able to bring knowledge to the unit. And the thing with the adeptus mechanicus, they tend to come in batches, in a way a machine would churn out soldiers. So the mechanicus unit is the mechanicus unit. You don't add raw recruits to it. It is a unit with the same level of training. If new recruits do come in, then they're coming from a unit not new recruits. If you have an existing unit, the units will the replacement troops will come from a unit with the same experience. Does that follow? Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. Now, when units get brought down to a smaller level, they are then sent to do different things. Some might become crewmen of a dune crawler or something like that. You've got 3 men left from the squad. You put that unit in a dune crawler. They know each other. They're used to fighting together. So it's a good use of their abilities. And some units become rad troopers. That's these guys. Now, some of them may actually come from areas of Mars or other planets, which is highly radioactive. and so they're used to the background levels of radiation that their gear gives out. So you could have dedicated troops who just immediately become these guys, but these guys tend to be better trained, so they usually come from the rank and file. So you will get troops of Skitarii Rangers who are from the Radways and Mars, where the Titan battles were fought back in the Heresy, and they grew up there, so they're used to the radiation. They then form a standard Skitarii unit, then they get whittled down, and becoming Rad Troopers is just the most sensible thing to do.
Yeah.
Because they're already there for it. They're much the same as a regular trooper. Their difference is their weaponry. The officer carries an arc pistol, and it's a standard pistol, strength 6, -1 AP, and it does D3 damage against vehicle instead of 1.
Oof, damn.
Yes.
That could do some heavy damage in one turn.
Yeah, you could do D3 damage with a pistol. A pistol. A Imperial Guard type pistol does D3 damage.
So a modified pistol.
Yeah, and it is D3. Sorry, it is 6 damage. This is the pistol here with the radiation thing on top. Then you have the radium carbine. I love the radium carbine. We just discovered this, how awesome they are for taking down hordes of zombies.
Yeah.
Because they are assault 3. So the carbine fires 3 rounds every time you shoot. So that's 3 shots, 3 shots, 3 shots. That's quite good.
Yeah.
That's quite good. That's a good weapon. That is a high fire rate for a infantryman. That's the same fire rate as a heavy bolter. Only strength of 3, but with a roll of 6 to wound, does 2 wounds. So
He's really good.
So on a really good day, on average, you're going to do 4 wounds. On a good day, you're going to do 5. You could do 6. It's pretty good, pretty good. Arc rifle. Now the arc rifle is a bit different. That is a rapid fire weapon, so you fire 2 shots instead of 1 at close range. And given that it's only got a range of 24 inches, your close range is 12 inches. So it's the range of a pistol, and it fires 2 rounds. That's not too bad. Strength of 6, the same as a pistol, again, does D3 damage to a vehicle.
These guys are good.
Yeah, they're quite good. Now, I would have liked something in the rules to cover their backstory, which is where if they were in combat with an enemy unit, the enemy unit rolls something to take a mortal wound or something.
Mm.
Oh, well, yeah, something where the radiation will be affecting them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have that. Now, I know 9th edition's out now.
But it's more competition based than it's game based.
Yes, but 9th edition is not a replacement to 8th edition.
It's an add-on.
Yeah, it's all the additional rules on top of the 8th edition, so you don't need 9th edition to play the game.
Right.
It's got a lot of stuff from the mechanicus in there. We were reading all the mechanicus stuff, weren't we?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of sort of special rules for mechanicus, the command cards for mechanicus. There's some really good stuff in there. But anyway, that's besides the point. We might do a video on that one day. Then we have Power Maul for close combat. Again, D3 damage per vehicle.
Basically, if all of them all went onto a vehicle, they could destroy it in one turn.
Yeah, if you maximise fire, all your fire into a vehicle. This is only a half squad. This is only 5 men. So you got 10 men. You can have 2 arc rifles. You've got all these carbines plus your pistol. You add all that together, you can do considerable damage to a vehicle.
Yeah.
And with strength 6, you're in vehicle damaging territory.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the edge of vehicle damaging territory. I mean, it's not as good as something like a plasma gun, which is strength 7.
They can have that once.
Yeah. Right. So, bionics. All troops have a 6+ invulnerable save. We discussed that before.
Yeah.
It's quite a useful skill. So you can have your standard infantryman with his 4+ save, which is already good, but they're coming up against heavy bolters and stuff like that, or any heavy weapon, even really heavy weapon, plasma guns. You're getting hit by really hard stuff. Maybe a Titan shoots at you, and you're completely stuffed. Invulnerable save. You still have a chance to save your men, even when it's a weapon that could take an entire squad out. And we've met weapons like that on the battlefield, haven't we?
Yeah.
That invulnerable save is pretty good. And I know it's only a 6. It's not a 5 like Space Marines get.
But it's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing, yeah. Then they've got an Omnispecs, which is that chap there. He's carrying the Omnispecs. What he can do is your target unit, the unit that your squad is firing at, gets no cover save. Pardon me. Right. Then you've got a data tether. We discussed this in the last video. If you fail morale, a Dominus can take over your unit, just take over their bodies and their minds, and steady the unit. That is awesome.
It's crazy.
Yes, it's crazy stuff. And lastly, Canticles of the Omnisire, which we all know about. We've done videos on that before. So overall, these guys are good. Now, in the last video we did the Rangers, and we were saying that Rangers would be brilliant as an elite unit attached to an Imperial Guard army to hold positions. These guys don't need to hold positions. These guys can go out there and take on tanks.
Yeah, I think that's what they're used for, putting behind enemy lines. You know?
Yeah, you get them in there. Yeah, that's quite good, isn't it? Yeah, I like this unit.
Yeah.
Out of all the mechanicus stuff, other than the robots, which are fun, these are probably the best unit in the army. But I do like the Rangers as well. But they do completely different jobs.
They've all got their specialties.
Yes, and that's the mechanicus all over, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have Space Marines. Some Space Marines are good at doing one thing, some are good at doing another thing, but they're all Space Marines. And the mechanicus, job to type. Type to job. You're typecasting your job, your role. And these guys, I like them. And they're going to be fighting Space Marines in our next campaign after we finish the World War Z campaign. So that's going to be fun. There's a hold on the World War Z campaign because we're waiting to finish some scenery and stuff for it, and we want a few other units before we fight it. We're going to be fighting the Battle of Yonkers, which should be the biggest battle overall. That's going to be fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to see if the Imperium can win the Battle of Yonkers against zombies. What do you think?
No.
Why not?
Well, it all depends how much you have.
Oh, you've got quite a lot, to be honest.
And then it all depends on where you put how much you have.
Ah, yes. Position is everything. And of course, thanks to 9th edition, we have some great strategies for the zombies, which follow the plot of the book. What happened in the Battle of Yonkers, so you can deploy the strategies each turn, which will make the game interesting. So you won't necessarily be fighting the zombies, you're going to be fighting against your strategies. So the things will get more complicated for you as you play. At the moment, we're currently doing Call of Cthulhu. I'll just put the video up. That's the game we're currently playing, Call of Cthulhu. Yes, there is a boat. Don't worry, the boat isn't actually on the table. That's actually part of a role-play game we're playing. Should have moved the boat first.
Yeah.
But we're playing Call of Cthulhu at the moment, and I'm going to do some Acton Cthulhu too. We can't just do 40k all the time, can we?
No.
But your better half has never played a role-play game in her life, so we thought we'd do Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, it was needed.
Yeah. Now she's terrified of Shoggoths and Chamberlains. So that's it. That's the video. Any questions on these guys? I think you've already did them at the beginning, didn't you? No, no questions from me either. Oh, one thing to note, even though these guys are pretty elite in their abilities, they are only still a troop choice. Now, I know it doesn't really matter for 8th edition anymore, because 8th edition is a lot more liquid. So it's kind of good that they are an elite a troop choice, because really for the what they're called, adeptus mechanicus, your elite choices are going to be taken up with all your electro priests and stuff like that, And if these were not anything other than troop choices, you wouldn't be able to field them.
No.
Because you just wouldn't have the space. The fact that they're a troop choice means you can field whole squads of these, which I think is a good thing. I mean, technically you could do an entire army up of these guys, but they wouldn't be as good because you need your rangers as well for the range of firepower and all that sort of stuff. So, anyway, that's it. Nothing to add?
If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and make sure to press the bell icon, and if you have any comments, put it down below. That's everything from me.
And everything from him. Goodbye.
See ya.